Hi, good afternoon. Want to have some adventure? Let's go, come with us.
The Tibo Cure Hospital provides pediatric orthopedic surgical care in Davao in the Philippines, helping children with treatable diseases such as clubfoot and spinal deformities. The hospital is operated by the Tibo International. Today we will interview Ma'am Efma Saldanya, the HR manager of the Tibo Cure Hospital. Come with us.
Hey, hey, hey. Good to see you. Come on in, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell us what are the top 5 skills that you are looking for an applicant, and why do you believe that these are the qualifications that you're looking for?
Okay, for the skills, it's not necessarily a top 5, but we definitely look for this in our applicants. One would be independence, because we are looking for people that are able to work on their own. We don't need to hire people that we have to assist all the time. We want to hire people that can hit the floor running. Meaning, we hired you for a specific role, we expect that you already know the ins and outs of your specific role. Second would have to be flexibility, because unlike most hospitals, Cure is a specialty hospital. We're not a tertiary hospital, meaning there are differences in the way we run things and differences in the services that we offer. And so because of that, we also have a limited number of employees, unlike most hospitals that has, every team has 10 people. For us here, one department could sometimes be just one person. So you have to be flexible with your tasks. Next is communication skills, whether it be written or verbal, because communication can either make or break an organization. And so if a person has no skills in communication, it could become detrimental to our everyday operations. And of course, in team building, if we have difficulty communicating with each other, then we will not be able to address the needs of the hospital as a whole. Next is analytical skills. The person needs to be able to figure out what to do, able to know where to find the answers for their specific concerns and problems. And then last would be technical. We believe that because some skills can be learned. So if you can notice, the first couple that I mentioned are things that are engraved in a person, are a part of their character already. Whereas technical skills, we put it in last, because even if a person knows a lot about that specific role, but they don't necessarily have the character expected from them, then it's still not going to work. So that's why technical is last.
Hi, thank you, ma'am. Other than the skills, we will also ask about the personal characteristics. Can you please tell us the top 5 personal characteristics that you are looking for in an applicant? Okay. And why do you believe that these are the qualifications that we should hire this applicant?
Okay, first would be honesty and integrity. Because like what I mentioned earlier, we want them to be independent. And by independent meaning we could also trust them. So if you have an honesty and integrity, we believe you will deliver the expectations from you, even if we're around, even if there's a CCTV or not. And sometimes you're able to figure that out during interview. In one of my previous roles, I had an interview with a guy, and I asked him, do you have any tattoo? I asked him first, what are your traits that you're most proud of? And he said, I'm honest. Okay, you're honest. And then I asked, do you have any tattoos in your body? And he said, no. Okay. And then I asked him, can you spread your hands or your fingers? And he did this. And he asked, can you spread it wider? And then when he spread it wider, there were actually tattoos between two of his fingers. And so it did not go with the honesty thing that he claimed he had. And so honesty is one thing, because it's very important. Next would be reliability. We expect you to be reliable, and that when you say you're going to do something, we expect you to do something, we expect you to be able to act on it. That we can trust you with specific skills, we can trust you with specific tasks that we add on your plate. And so reliability is number 2. Next is self-motivation. Well, it is one of the roles of HR to motivate the whole team. We we expect you to also know how to motivate yourself. Especially for Filipinos, we have this ugali that if it's a Friday, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to work, it's a Friday, it's so tiring, I can smell the weekend. And so we want people to be able to motivate themselves too. It's very important. And we are not always going to be there to tell you, go, you can do this. You have to also know how to turn that on by yourself. Next would be willingness to learn. While we are already in this job, have been trained in school, have had previous work experiences, there's still a lot of things to learn every day. And one of my previous bosses told me that it's not just there's a room for improvement, there's actually a gymnasium of improvement, because that's a lot of opportunities for growth. And so we want people to have the willingness to learn and to not have the kind of thinking that I already know everything that I need to know. We want everyone to approach it, what can I learn from this day, what can I learn from this exposure, what can I learn from this mishap, you know, that kind of attitude. And then last would be sincerity and passion. Even if a person has all the tools necessary for their role, even if they have a good working environment, good paycheck, good benefits, if that person does not have the passion for what they do, all will be for naught, all will be just useless. And so a person needs to be able to find it in themselves. I want to do this, I believe in what we do. And so if our hospital is a charity hospital, so all of our staff are not as paid as much as they would have been paid in other hospitals. However, most of our employees believe in what we do, and that's to deliver healing to poor children. And so to have everyone believe in what we do is that kind of passion inside the work. So those are the things we try to single out in during interviews.
And the adventure ends. Bye!
You got a fast car.
1, 2, 3, start!